Good morning, private practice success community. Gerda here, clinical psychologist and your private practice success business coach and mentor. And welcome. I think this is the third day in the row that you are now joining me on my morning run / walk at the moment. And every day I've come to you on the home stretch. So I go out down to the beach, back up the big hill. And then when I get to at the top of the hill, I'm exhausted. Then I go, good excuse to now talk to my people so that I can rest. And of course, by the time I get here, I always have something that I go, yeah, I need to speak to my people about this, right? So if you are hopping on, please say hi and hello in the comments so that I know that you're here live with me. So I've got a question for you this morning. And I'm speaking to you as a private practice owner, whether you are a solo practitioner or whether you have a group private practice. And my question to you is this: are you, in the first place, first and foremost, are you actually emailing your client list? And secondly, are you doing that on a weekly basis? And if not, why not? Okay, so just for context, talking to you here as a practice owner. If you are doing online stuff like I do, online courses and training, times 10 everything I'm telling you, right? But I'm first and foremost talking to you guys in private practice that would traditionally have a brick and mortar practice, currently probably doing a heck of a lot of telehealth, potentially remotely and from home. Irrespective, these are your clinical clients that's coming to you for therapy, for counseling, that type of thing, right? So your clinical population of clients. How often are you actually emailing them? Because I would expect you, whenever you have a new client coming into your practice, as part of the intake paperwork, they should be giving you their email for various purposes, right? And one of those is to stay in communication with them. All right, so my recommendation to you is that you really should be emailing your clinical clients, the whole lot of them, once a week, once every 1 week. Hang on, we've got some cars coming by. Peak hour traffic when you have 2 cars. Those people are normally traveling here in convoy. Once a week. Now, I want you to reflect on, when you hear me say that, what comes up for you? Is it like, and I'm gonna guess here, right? Because of course, I've always, well, 9.9 out of 10 times I've been where you are, right? I've gone through all this stuff. I've learned through trial and error, the hard way. So I'm guessing a couple of things might be coming up. First and foremost, you're gonna go, I don't want to know what the heck to say to them, Gerda, which actually is the easiest fix of all the things. The second thing might be, oh my goodness, they're going to think I'm spamming them, right? If I email them once a week. And the second thing might be, oh my goodness, they're going to all unsubscribe and I'm going to feel so bad. Because let's face it, we tend to take those things as a personal thing, right? Hey Robin, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So let me know, even if you're watching the replay, because I'm going to come back at the end of the day and come and check the comments. Tell me, because really, let's make this a live stream that you're not only listening to, but that you're actually going to use this. That you're not only pay attention, but you're going to act on this, because this can make a heck of a difference to your practice. Right? Heck of a difference, and it's such an easy fix. Hey Frank, how's things in Sydney? Hope you're well. So the first one, so we said 3 possible issues. Put in the comments whether 1, 2 or 3, or maybe 2 or maybe all 3 is coming up for you. Right? Remember, the first step to change and to up-leveling is to become self-aware and to acknowledge what's going on for you. Otherwise you can't change a thing, right? So let's say your first issue is, well, Gerda, I want to know what to email to them once a week, right? What would I tell them? I wouldn't know what to put in there. So this is what you put in there. If you're an extrovert, imagine that on a Friday at the end of the week, you're going down to the pub, meeting up with your friends or your mates, as we say here in Australia, and you're talking to them about your week at the practice, and you're sharing with them all the good stuff, all the amazing things, all the stuff that you feel accomplished about, all the stuff that you feel proud of, all the stuff also that you feel excited about for next week, right? Maybe if you're an introvert like I am, you won't be going down to the pub or restaurant or coffee shop. That's like when isolation's been lifted, of course. You would rather go and sit in your bed, write in your diary or in your journal, or maybe message a friend on Facebook, but you're having the same conversation, right? You go, oh my goodness, this is what happened this week. So it's the good stuff, right? Robin says, I don't have an email list, I have client email addresses. It is. Robin, when they do their intake paperwork, you need to have a little line on there that says, and this is our approach, right? That when you become a client with us, part of the service that we provide to you is an email communication, where we're going to send you helpful information, resources. We want to talk to you. We've got a relationship with you, right? So we're going to talk to you. So most certainly, every client that you have, what I would do if you've got current clients, now when they start coming in, get their consent, because you haven't done that from the start. For us, it's just a standard part of the intake process when they do their paperwork, and tell them you're going to put them on your list. Are they happy? Make a case note and get started with your list. Okay? You have to do that. So that's content, right? Because for me, that email is about having an anchor point between sessions. So as a general rule, psychologists in Australia, and I've got a psychology practice, of course, sees our clients once every 2 weeks, right? So for them, having like a communication where they can feel connected to us, you might not find that helpful, but our clinical population, our clients, that little email, that little piece of connection that's going to take you literally 10 minutes to write up. Because I'm not talking about a fancy template here, just talking about a plain Jane email, right? Don't overcomplicate things. That's the worst thing you can do, because then people do feel like you're just marketing to them, right? Don't do fancy email template thingamajiggaroos. Just send them an email, right? That communication will mean the world to them, okay? The world. And I've just told you what to put in there, right? So the second thing is that you might go, oh my God, I'm gonna feel like I'm spamming my people. Now, you will only be spamming them if your email says, buy this, sign up for that, come do this group, check out the website and buy this book from us, right? That would be spamming. But if you are sharing the information that I've just given you, like what's been happening at the practice, they won't feel like they're being spammed. They'll feel like they're part of the community, right? The practice community, whether that's the psych professionals community or the psych professionals, which is my practice family, the psych professionals tribe, whatever word you want to use to refer to your people, right? It needs to be a word that sits well with you, and which will be informed of, you know, your practice vision and values and all of that type of thing. They're not going to feel spammed. But the beauty is this: when you actually do have an amazing group that you believe every client in your practice should be in that group because it's going to be so helpful to them, and you then send an email telling them about it, they're not going to feel sold to. They're going to go, hell yes, of course. Why? Because you're not just talking to them because you want to sell them something. You've been talking to them all this time, right? All this time you've been talking to them, sharing things, building a relationship, building a connection, building even more trust, which means that when you tell them this group is going to be really amazing for you, if this is what you want to work on, right, then they're going to go, okay, hell yes, let's do that. Or they might decide not to, but they're not going to get the shits with you because you've built up a relationship. And that takes us to number 3, the third possible objection, right? Let's say people start unscribing, God forbid. Oh my goodness, I've spoken to so many practice owners, and it's like every unsubscribe, it's like a dagger, literally like a dagger in their heart. They take it so personally. And I totally get it. I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. But you know what? I've also been there, and it took me a bit of a longer time to learn it, which is why I'm always sharing this stuff with you guys, right? Because I want to help you fast track your growth. Please don't do it the long way like I had to. Just follow my advice. I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but I'm hoping that you'll trust me. But what I've come to learn is that unsubscribes is not a bad thing, and it's not about you. You know, yes, I have had people, you know, and there's so many people, they don't unsubscribe, even though there's an unsubscribe button, because obviously I also do a lot of emailing for the private practice success coaching and mentoring that I do. And a lot of people want to make a point, so they won't just go to the unsubscribe button. They will actually email me and say, I do not want to get your emails, Gerda. Please unsubscribe me. They make me do it. And then I just want to go, yeah, happy to do so. Thank you for letting me know. You know, whereas really you're making a big deal out of nothing, because you won't be on this list if you didn't buy something from me or subscribe at some point, and then you get the shits with me, right? When it's so easy to just unsubscribe, you click the darn button. So getting unsubscribes is a good thing, because to use marketing language, it will mean that at the end of the day, you've got a clean and engaged list, which means these are people that want to hear from you. Okay, they want to hear from you. So you know that every email that goes out is going to someone that wants to hear from you, which just makes it so much more fun to email them, right? And to share stuff with them. So it actually ups the fun element. And what I've also come to learn through personal experience is that I myself go through these stages where I just unsubscribe, where I just get to a day where I just go, I'm over this inbox shit. I've got too much stuff in here. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. And I would just unsubscribe the 10 first things I see. And I've often unsubscribed from people to find myself 6 to 12 months later subscribing again and spending thousands of dollars with them. Let that sink in for a minute, okay? So just because somebody falls off the radar because there's something happening for them, don't make it about you. Doesn't mean they're not going to come back, okay? You need to be the constant object that's going to be there, and then when they're ready to come back, you can go, welcome back to the family, welcome back to the community, we're excited to have you back, right? It's like a parent, the child runs off, and when they come back, you welcome them back with open arms, because that's what we do. We love them unconditionally. And I love my subscribers unconditionally, even if they leave and unsubscribe, even if they get the shits with me. And the same holds true for our clients at our practice. If they don't want to get our emails, that's perfectly fine. They can unsubscribe, right? But that's not going to stop me from building a relationship with the others. Hang on, let me look. There's some comments here. Janet says, is your office closed? I've been trying to reach the office since Sunday. Which office? Since Sunday via email, phone, message, and Facebook. So we had a public holiday here in Queensland on Monday, but we were open the whole day yesterday. So when you say my office, are you talking about Private Practice Success Australia? Have you emailing on PPS? I can only assume that's it, and that it won't be the actual practice. Let me know, and I will tag Abby in here to find out what's going on. Hey Natalie, hey Kim. So yes, if you've jumped on late, please do listen from the start. As I said, I really want this to not just be a video that you watch. I want this to be something that you actually act on. See which of those 3 things popped up for you. Listen to my suggestions. And I would truly encourage you that Robin, speaking to you here, and anybody else that does not have a email list as such, to get one, to start one. It's very, very important to have and to start emailing your clients. Nothing fancy again, once a week. If you do want to do a fancy newsletter, I would do that once a month. Okay, I would also, if you're doing a new formal newsletter, I would also select a specific day of the month to do that on. For example, the 1st of the month or the 15th, because I love clients having some consistency, like where they can start to expect that, oh yeah, we're going to hear from Kim on the 1st, or we hear from this practice, the psych professionals, on the last day of the month, right? It's that consistency, I think, and routine. And when there's routine, it helps you as a practice owner as well, right? And also, if you're going to do weekly, decide when are you going to send this out. You're going to send it out on a Friday. Hopefully they get time to check their emails on the weekend, but it doesn't matter as long as you do it, right? And you select a time that's going to work for you in order to do it consistently. If you do it and you find 2 weeks in, you're dropping the ball, then you shift and pivot and adjust the time until you find the time that's going to work perfectly for you. And you don't overthink it, you don't overcomplicate it, you just get it done. All right, I look forward. I'm going to come back late this Savo because I've got a really big day. It's like I've been saying that every day this week, other than Monday, because Monday was a public holiday. And I again this morning told my husband, I've got such a big day today, got such a big day tomorrow. And he says, Gerda, what are you on about? You're saying it with a complaining voice, but you've got a smile on your face. You love being busy. And I went, yes, okay. I love being busy. The busier it is, the more accomplished I feel. The busier it is, the more purpose-driven I become. I just love it. I love having freedom. That's why I complain about having a busy day. One of my biggest values is freedom, like to be able to walk now, at this point in time, being able to live stream right now, and not worrying about doing my makeup, doing my hair, not being sweaty, not having a bad shot. And you can see my probably famous double chin, but just doing it now because it suits me. I love freedom. And when I look at my diary, it's so full. It's like it clashes with my freedom value, but it serves my contribution value because I love to contribute, I love to achieve, right? So those two are often in conflict with one another, which means that I tend to complain about being busy, but I revel in it at the same time. So I'm one of those people that just loves to be busy. That's just who I am, right? So yeah, got a busy day ahead. Got a just as busy day tomorrow. And next week is also going to be busy, and it's my, I think what's adding to my busyness is I'm running that introducing online group programs into your service offering, and it's taking quite a lot of my time. I've added in way more content than I initially thought, so it's taking a bit longer. Normally I would only do 1 module a week, and I'm doing 2 a week, so I feel like my week is very crammed. But interesting, even though that's the case, I've been doing so much more other stuff that I would just anyway postpone, right? Like yesterday I had such a long day, I just loved it. So anyway, enough about me. Have a fabulous day. I will check in with you later. And remember, as always, all you need to do is say yes to your very own ultimate level 5 private practice. Bye for now.